I'm going to get us started here. I see some people in the chat, so that's great. Thanks for saying hi. My name is Sarah Mayu, and I am a program manager here at Temple Small Business Development Center. So we are going to be doing, like I said earlier, if you weren't on the call and didn't hear me, we are doing YouTube Basics for Entrepreneurs today from 11 to 12:30. The webinar runs about an hour, maybe an hour and 5 minutes or so, and then we will have open Q&A. So that'll be your time to ask any additional questions, or if no one has questions, you get to hop off a little early. But because these social media series we've been running have been so popular, we like to leave that time for people to ask questions. So for those of you that are new to the Temple SBDC, we are part of a nationally accredited network of small business development centers. There are actually over 1,000 SBDCs in the United States, and there are 16 of them in Pennsylvania. So if you're joining us from Philly, that is where Temple SBDC is located here at Temple University. We cover the Philadelphia region, Eastern Montgomery, and Lower Bucks County, but this is a webinar, so you get to join us from Pittsburgh, Scranton, over by Penn State, wherever you are in the state, or you know, even we had a call yesterday where someone was joining us from Texas, so wherever you are, we are more than happy to have you here. I see people engaging in the chat, which is beautiful. I will encourage people to use the Q&A for specific questions. I see someone's already got one in there that I will get to in a little bit, so that's great. So my couple key, housekeeping items here are: this is set up as a Zoom webinar. So you are muted, your video's off, you can't accidentally turn your video on. It is set up this way just to keep the webinar more professional, especially since we will be posting this later on YouTube. So if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A, and you can utilize the chat if you want to just say hi, have a general comment, or want to share something with everyone else who's on the call. I will be monitoring both, but I encourage you to please put the questions in the Q&A so they do not get lost in the chat with everything else that's going on. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get us started here. This is YouTube Basics. This is part of our social media series. So we've been doing a basics webinar for social media once a month since January. We did Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're moving on to YouTube. We're going to keep the momentum through the rest of the year as well. And YouTube is actually a really fun one. It's one where a lot of people know what YouTube is already. So maybe some of you on the call are like, wow, what am I going to learn about YouTube that I don't already know? There's a lot going on here, and it's such a great tool for businesses that people just do not take advantage of. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in here. This is just the normal slide we have on who Temple SBDC is. In case some of you are new to us, like I said, we do a variety of webinars and workshops. For those of you that signed up today, you know how many webinars and workshops we are trying to run to provide the best services to you. This is one of 4 webinars we're running today alone. So you might have seen me this morning in our WordPress workshop. You might be joining us later today, but we're more than happy to have any of you online. And we also obviously do one-on-one consulting. So if after this webinar or any of our webinars, you would like to meet with a consultant one-on-one to get additional insight or information to help you grow your business, you can sign up on our website and meet with a consultant at absolutely no cost to you. So who am I? Like I said earlier, my name is Sarah Mayu. I am the Digital Transformation Program Manager here at Temple SBDC. So I'm in charge of putting on all of the programming you've seen on our website. I teach some of them myself. We bring in a variety of guest speakers. Prior to that, I did work at the Delaware SBDC. So like I said, it's a national network, and I hopped the border from Delaware to Pennsylvania, and I'm happy to be here while I'm working with Pennsylvania entrepreneurs. And I obviously have some experience in digital marketing, which is why I am a subject matter expert talking with you today. I've done that for a variety of different nonprofits, for a chamber of commerce, and I've been a solopreneur myself, doing one-on-one consulting with universities and nonprofit organizations. So that's kind of my background. And here at Temple SBDC, you're more than happy to talk to me about the training programs, any marketing questions. And as we get towards the end of the program, I'll show you a little bit about what we have called a Digital Transformation Center of Excellence. So the reason we put so many digital marketing webinars on is because we were actually designated as a center for digital marketing excellence in the state. So we are very proud to have that and to offer all of these things for you. And you're more than welcome to talk to me about that in the future. But what are we going to be talking about today? I like to give people an agenda so they have an idea of where we're going, how it all fits together. We're going to be doing a very brief intro to YouTube because, like I said, YouTube is so popular that most people already get get what it is. You know, they know that it's a video sharing platform. You've probably been on it yourself, but we're just going to go over that in a little bit of detail and why it's beneficial to use, which is probably the biggest thing you'll get from that first section. And then how to get started on YouTube, right? How to use it, how to use it for your business, how to make a channel, some of those things, how do you get your own videos up there. We're going to go over some next tips for using it for your business. So how to, once you have that channel, how do you amplify your presence? How do you use it for your marketing? And then I always provide some next steps. So as a disclaimer, as always, this is a basics webinar. We're going to be going from square one. There's going to be a lot of really useful information in here. And then I always give next steps for those people who after today want to go to the next level, are looking for something more intermediate. We have links and resources and videos that can help you. And then we always have questions and answers, right? So if you have questions throughout, please do feel free to put them in the chat. I will get to them as they are appropriate in the presentation. And then, like I said, we will have an open Q&A at the end. But let's jump right in here. So what is YouTube? And it's kind of a trick question. I know I put this in each of our social media series webinars because before we can even get to YouTube, I just want us to all be on the same page with what is social media, which might seem like a very basic question. But as you see in this picture on the right, there are a ton of different types of social media, and they all help you share information and build virtual networks. They're all user-generated profiles where you can share information on your computer or your mobile device. And what you can do with it as a business is share your information about your business, right? As I'm sure you're all very well aware. But each social media operates in a slightly different way. Instagram, you have to have a picture versus Twitter or Facebook. You might just be able to make a status. YouTube is not a status-based social media. It's entirely video. So we're going to get to that in a second, but I just want to make sure we all are aware that using social media, first and foremost, is a great way to connect with people. So we're using YouTube as a way to connect with others. It's just another platform that we can utilize to do this. So what is YouTube? YouTube is a video sharing platform. You've probably used it. I think it's automatically downloaded on most Android phones, at least. I'm not sure about Apple phones. People use it to view, old television show episodes or how-tos, product reviews. You might follow a YouTuber, someone who does daily vlogs where you just get to see funny things about their life or little shorts. People share YouTube videos that are 30 seconds. They share YouTube videos that are 2 hours. People listen to a ton of music on YouTube. So any kind of video content you could think of is on YouTube. It is a huge platform. There are 2 billion users worldwide. So it's not just something that's popular in the US, it's used across the world. And over 1 billion hours are played every day. So when we talk about social media, this is one of the social media platforms that is used exponentially more than others. And for those of you that attended Facebook or Instagram, you know how many millions of people are on those social media platforms every day. And YouTube really took it into the billions. Billions of people are on here. It's owned by Google. Maybe not all of you knew that. But because it's owned by Google, it really is helpful when we talk about things like search engine optimization, how to get fined. When people are searching, they will be searching for you somewhere. And YouTube is owned by Google, so they have a lot of connections in that space, which we'll go over later in the presentation. People look for news, entertainment, like I said. There are a couple key things you do on YouTube. You can view the videos. You can upload your own videos. Those are the 2 most obvious. But what people can do is they can interact with you on those videos, right? You can rate a video, say you liked it, you didn't like it. You can share it with your friends and families. You can comment on it. There are a ton of people that go on YouTube and comment under videos and make, a chain of people commenting, maybe even having conversations underneath that video. So it's a way to interact with others as well and share content and learn content with people who are also interested in the same thing. But it's very visual. So when we're talking about YouTube, there are a ton of tools that we will be using. Obviously, the biggest is video publishing. And then as we work through the presentation, I'll also show you things like YouTube TV, Creator Academy, YouTube for Artists. These are all other ways that YouTube makes it easy for you as a small business, an entrepreneur, an artist to utilize their platform. And it is entirely visual and audio. So it's not like Facebook or Twitter where you can just make a status update. And it doesn't really have a news feed per se, where every time someone follows you, they will see your videos come up with all the other videos that they follow. It's not as structured as a Facebook or a Twitter. But with that said, we will go over how you find videos, how people who follow your channel get updates about your videos, and all of that good stuff. The only other thing I want to really take away here is that it is incredibly mobile and desktop friendly. There are some social media that are only one or the other. So for example, Instagram has a desktop version. It's really meant to be a mobile app. Facebook does pretty well on both. Twitter does pretty well on both, but there are some that just don't do very well on desktop. Most are optimized for mobile at this point, right? And that's probably really worth noting because so many people are using their phones and looking at things mobilely. People are making entire purchases from I found out about this product to I'm reviewing this product to I'm deciding if I want to buy it and then buying it with a credit card all on their phones. So you want to make sure that you are creating content that looks good on mobile friendly apps. And the good news is YouTube is very mobile and desktop friendly. So let's take a deeper dive into understanding why YouTube, exists, who's on there, why should you care who's on there? Well, first and foremost, for any of you that have attended some of our other sessions, and actually we're doing a session at 1:30 today about finding your target market, but I encourage you to figure out what demographic you're trying to reach with your product, right? That's just a quick, disclaimer I'm going to put in there right now. So when we're looking at which social media you want to use, you want to make sure the people you're trying to reach are on that social media. The good news is when it comes to YouTube, almost everybody is on YouTube. It is the second most popular website in the world. I know that's hard to believe, but yes, people are on there. It's also the second largest search engine in the world, right after Google, which owns YouTube. So Google did really well there, but YouTube is the second largest search engine, which some of you might not realize. People are searching for things on there. Like I said, they're searching for reviews, videos, music, how-tos. When they can't find something on YouTube, it can be very off-putting, so that's why I really want to encourage small businesses to end up on here because people are searching for you there, whether you know it or not. The demographics are really clean. Like I said, no matter who you're trying to reach, you're gonna find them on YouTube. We put this demographic chart up for every single type of social media when we do them. And for example, when you looked at Facebook or Twitter or some of the other ones, it wasn't this even. A lot of them skewed maybe very urban. And for example, when we did LinkedIn skewed very into the median to high income and not as many low income people are on LinkedIn. Some had significantly younger people and not as many older people. But when you look at YouTube, it's such an even spread here. The amount of people that are watching, 70% of females are on here, almost 80% of males are on here. I mean, that's a ton of people. The age spread is huge. Obviously, the younger you're looking, the more they're going to be on YouTube. But even 65 and up, almost 40% of the people 65 and up are on YouTube. And so even when you're looking at those older, maybe baby boomer generation, silent generation, they are still using YouTube, even if they might not be on other social media. No matter where you're located, if you're here in Philly or you're out doing agriculture outside of Pittsburgh somewhere, it's an even spread. People are using YouTube no matter where you are. The income is an even split. The education is an even split. So everyone is on YouTube. And I'm not saying that to make a broad overarching statement, but the facts show you that no matter what demographic you're looking at, YouTube is a great potential opportunity for you to reach them. We also have over here, I like to put this chart just to kind of show you the importance of mobile. So I kind of talked about that a little bit before, but when you are using social media, you want to make sure you are compatible with the way the viewers are looking at that information. And YouTube makes it really easy because you upload a video and their app makes it so it's already very compatible and easy for people to see it on their app on their phone. And why is that important? If you look at the statistics, almost 50% of people using YouTube are viewing items on YouTube mobilely. Almost 50% of people are just looking at it on their phone. And then you have some people looking at it on a tablet, on a desktop computer, and then actually the second highest statistic is connecting it to their TV. So anyone who has a smart TV, you can connect YouTube to your television and watch videos with your family. On the big screen, and tons of people are doing that as well. So your content can be shared really anywhere that someone has a screen, which is unique. You can't necessarily always do that with a Facebook or an Instagram. Ooh, give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, here's just a couple more fun tips that I like to give everyone. So we talked a little bit about the demographics, who's on YouTube, what YouTube is. what are the benefits of being on YouTube? Why would you, as a small business or even just a person in general, want to be on YouTube? The good news is this statistic is a little repeated, but I want to really drive it home that every day people watch 1 billion hours of videos. People love watching YouTube videos. It's easy, it's convenient, you can find everything in one place. So you want to make sure that your videos are also showing up there where people are looking for them, right? Because so many videos are there, people go there to search for them. It's kind of like the same concept of you want to show up on Google because you know everyone's searching via Google, or you want to be on Amazon maybe because everyone's looking for products on Amazon. Same concept with YouTube. Because there's so much there, people know to go there to search for things. So here are my top 5 favorite benefits. Why would you want to be on YouTube? 1, as we just saw, your target audience is on YouTube. No matter who your target audience is, I guarantee you they're searching on YouTube for things, maybe not you specifically yet because they don't know that you're on there, or they know that you're not on there because they looked, but things that relate to your business. If you're selling clothes, they might be looking up product reviews or mini commercials or how to put an outfit together tutorials and things like that, that you can also share and engage with your clients. Same thing if you're, I use this example a lot, Sarah's Cupcakes, and you sell cupcakes, you're a bakery. They might not be looking for you specifically yet, but they might be looking up favorite cupcake recipes or cupcake places near me or cupcake commercials or funny cupcake videos or anything. And if you have a video that matches what they're looking for, they will find you and all of a sudden be like, oh, wow, that's Sarah's Cupcakes. That's so cool. And there are ways for them to engage with you in a really interesting way on here. So like I said, the customers are looking for you. That's the number 2. They're looking for you on YouTube, whether they know it or you know it or not. You get higher engagement with videos. This is true across any social media platform. So even if after today you say, you know what, I don't think YouTube is for me, when you're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, any of them, I always recommend putting through some video content in there because videos get higher engagement and they get higher ranking in search engine optimization. So they will actually get pushed to more people and be seen by more people than a static post or a post with just a picture or anything like that. And because YouTube is all videos, you're going to get that higher engagement and people are going to stay watching it longer. You get better conversion. So there are a lot of studies that show people are more likely to buy a product after just watching a video about it than just seeing a post on Facebook about it or seeing a graphic on your Instagram. They are much more likely to convert to actually buying after watching a video. And YouTube is really, really easy to set up, and I'm going to show you how to set it up today. So those are some of the key things that I want you to keep in your mind as we move forward through this presentation. And if that didn't convince you, and disclaimer, I'm not here to tell you, yes, use YouTube, or don't use YouTube. You will make that choice for yourself. But if you still wanted some really cool statistics to kind of help push you towards YouTube, here's some really interesting facts that I love to share with small businesses. One is that 68% of YouTube users watched YouTube to help make a purchase decision. So if my previous slide did not convince you, this is true. So many people are going on YouTube and then making a purchase after the fact. YouTube is used by 55% of marketers. So you might not be marketing on YouTube, but maybe your competition is, or the big corporations, you know that they are. So people are using YouTube and they're marketing correctly on YouTube. To the demographics, one of the things I had said was, YouTube reaches an older audience that maybe some of the other platforms don't. And 1 in 3 baby boomers go on YouTube to learn more about a product or service, maybe before they buy it or how to use it, especially if you sell something that is maybe a little complicated or needs help setting up. Having how-to videos to help people is a great way to engage them and keep your customer service level high. And baby boomers are on here doing that. More than 70% of YouTube content is watched on mobile devices. That's another one to really drive home the fact that being mobile is really important in today's society. And then if you're looking at your younger generation, so like I said, whether you're using old or young, they're all here, they're all on YouTube. But if you're specifically thinking, I want to reach the under 34 demographic, they're actually on YouTube more than they're on TV or any other network. So the world of going on TV and getting a commercial on TV has already kind of started to peter out for a lot of people. And if you're reaching that younger generation, they're not on television anyway. They're looking at YouTube to watch every content they need, the news, like I said, the TV shows, the music. So that is where people are. And I just want to pause for 1 second because I saw someone put in a question saying, will they get a copy of the recording? And the answer is yes. So we will be sending a copy of this recording will be public on our YouTube, but you will also get a copy of the link and a copy of the PowerPoint as a PDF file and a follow-up email within 1 to 2 business days. So yes, you will be getting all of this information. And I just want to put that out there because someone asked. All right, so over here on the right was just another YouTube marketing graphic that I found online. These are just some of those hot words that people are looking for. So you as a small business, you might not know exactly what your marketing strategy is, but you've heard people use these key buzzwords, right? How do I use SEO? How do I get ROI, return on investment? Am I using the right keywords? How do I get my target audience? Or how do I, market myself with, consistent branding? Those are some of the things that YouTube can help you do. YouTube marketing allows you to use all of these buzzwords and really lift your presence. So those are just some of those things that YouTube can help you with. And we're going to talk about how to set up your channel so that it does those things. And in case you were wondering, as we jump into the how-to of YouTube, here is what a YouTube channel for your business might look like. This is the Temple SBDC YouTube channel. I just used it as an example. You can see that on YouTube, you get to have a profile picture and a banner image that's pretty similar to many other social media sites nowadays. And you have options to have like a trailer video. When you scroll down, you get to have all of your videos in specific channels and playlists. And you have all of this other information over here on the side for yourself, as well as for others. So there's a lot that can be done here. This is just a brief first look at what maybe a YouTube channel could look like for you. And I would love to hear in the chat if you could just give me a yes or a no if you've been on YouTube before. I'm assuming that 95% of you have been on YouTube before. But if you just want to put a quick yes or no, I would love to hear it, especially if no, because then I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page as we move forward to the next step. Of course, yep, I know, Kim. Of course, everyone's on YouTube. I just want to make sure, when we do the YouTube, when we do the social media basics, I want to start at a level that's comfortable for everyone. And I know there are some people that have never used Instagram before or never used Facebook before, but I think for most people, YouTube is pretty obvious. So, all right, great. Glad to see that. So how to get started on YouTube. Most of you are using YouTube already, which is great to see. But you might be saying, you know what, I use it to search for other people's videos, or I might comment on someone's video, but I'm not sure how to optimize it for my own business. Well, we're going to show you how to get started. Someone did put a no, I've never been on YouTube. So that's good to know. Thank you for letting us see that. With that said, we will be doing step-by-step, right? So we're going to show you how to get onto YouTube. Some people are saying I've only used it to watch videos, right? So yeah, I'm sure many people have used it to at least watch a video, but if you haven't, I will give us a 20-30 second intro to just how YouTube looks. Don't worry. But anyway, I said, let's get started. And then I did a trick. That was another trick one, right? Because I'm sure you thought I would move to this slide and we would go right into setting up a channel. But I always put this in here just because I want to make sure that you're picking what's right for you. I never want people to sign up for a social media channel just because they watched this webinar and I said how amazing the social media is and how good it can be for your business, and then they just went into it, because each social media can be really good depending on what you do, if it's right for you, if it's right for your time commitment, so each industry is going to be a little bit different, and you want to get that return on investment, right? That buzzword, the ROI. I don't want you to spend hours upon hours pouring into Facebook or pouring into YouTube if it's not giving you what you need out of it. So the first thing I do is just say, is YouTube right for you? You don't have to know the answer right now, but maybe throughout this presentation, you'll be able to figure that out or make that next step and determine if it's something you want to try. But here are two different charts that I like to show. The first is how many people are using each social media app on their phone. So especially like I said, we want to be mobile friendly. You want to get your business out there. How often are people downloading each social media app? Once again, YouTube is far higher than any other app, as you probably all know because you watch YouTube. The only one that comes even close is Facebook. Everyone else is under 40% of people downloading that app. So definitely when you're looking at getting in front of people, the platform, the search engine that you want is YouTube. It's up here. It's very high. Everyone, for the most part, has it, right? Then I wanted to just show you an industry chart. I do this for every social media series because not all industries are created equal on each social media channel. And this just shows the most active industries. It doesn't mean you can't be on YouTube if your industry is lower. It's just telling you who's the most active. And probably to no surprise of anyone, the most active is anyone in the media space or in the technology space. If you're doing business to consumer or business to business technology, you might be doing reviews or putting out informational commercials, or things like that. Anyone in the automotive or apparel space, you're still up there. Anyone with a fast moving good, like food or clothing or a product that you're trying to sell and send out, your products are being viewed on YouTube. So this is still very high. I know it doesn't look high compared to media, but that's because media is just utilizing YouTube to the best of their ability, which is great for them. And it kind of peters out with, home goods and energy and transportation. For example, if you owned a limo business, you might not need to put as many videos on YouTube because there's not as much to say maybe. But it doesn't hurt, to think about what you might be putting videos of up if you're in that industry. Another thing I want to say is, if you're a service-based industry, you can have YouTube and almost be like a vlogger, right? I mean, you can give little updates or little tips and tricks or little resources to diversify, just like you can on your website if you had a website. So there's tons of things that can be done on YouTube. But just statistically, this is what the spread kind of looks like in terms of the industries and who's really on there. Okay, sorry, someone said they never post on YouTube. I watch it every day. Great. Awesome. Yeah, that's fine. I was gonna say, if you'd never been on YouTube, I would have been really surprised. Most people know how to get onto YouTube and at least watch a video, right? So we're gonna show you how to use YouTube really quick. This is for those of you that maybe are using YouTube and just looking up videos, but never had a YouTube account. If you want to make a YouTube channel for your business, you need a YouTube account. That's my disclaimer here. So we are getting to why do you need it for your business, how to make a channel for your business, but you need to have a YouTube account to do that. What I will say is if you're just on YouTube looking at videos, looking at other people's things, you don't necessarily need a YouTube account. If you want to rate or comment or any of those other items, then you do have to have an account to do that, as you might have noticed when you're scrolling through these things. But really quickly, this girl has like a 2-minute video and she sums it up much better than I can on how to just make sure you have a YouTube account set up. And once we get through that, we're going to move on to how to make a channel, because setting up a YouTube account in itself is relatively easy. But for those of you that don't have one, let's go ahead and get her started. So, all right, how do I get her to go? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna, Okay, that was a link up until just now. Let me see. Let's just go to YouTube really quick, right? Why not? And I'll pull her up for us. There she is. All right, and can you hear that her talking? Please let me know if you cannot hear her. I'm about to press play on that again. Okay, great. Give me 1 second. I just think I need to optimize this for video. All right, let's try it.
Keep in mind that a Google account and a YouTube channel are not exactly the same thing.
Okay.
If you have a Google...
1 second. And what she's going to talk about is why you need a Google account for YouTube, in case any of you didn't know that. It is probably a surprise to some people because YouTube and Google, many people didn't know were connected.
This video will show you how to get a Google account and use it to sign into YouTube and create a YouTube channel. Keep in mind that a Google account and a YouTube channel are not exactly the same thing. If you have a Google account, you can use it to sign into YouTube to like videos and subscribe to your favorite creators. When signed in, you'll also get personalized video recommendations based on your activity. Having a YouTube channel lets you upload your own videos and gives you a public presence on YouTube. If you already have a Google account, you can use it to sign into YouTube. Just enter the email address that you would use for other Google products. For example, if you have a Gmail account, use that email address and password when you sign in. If not, you can easily create a Google account directly from YouTube. Start by going to youtube.com or opening the YouTube app. If you're on a computer, click Sign In, then click Create Account. From here, you'll be asked to fill in your information. If you're on a mobile device, select the profile picture icon, and then tap Sign In. You'll see a plus sign, which you can select to add an account. Choose Create Account from the sign-in page. Now that you're signed in, there's a lot you can do. You can like and dislike videos, save videos to watch later, subscribe to your favorite channels, manage your watch history, or flag videos that you don't think should be there, and more. The more you watch and interact with videos, the better your recommendations will get.
All right, everyone. So for those of you that have never signed into YouTube, that's kind of what it looks like. Not that hard to figure out, as you can see, but for those of you that didn't have a YouTube channel and were just looking up things on your own, that's kind of how it would look, As you can see here, you're staring at my screen. I opened this in a guest browser on my computer. So I was able to watch this video without ever signing in, which it might be what some of you are doing. So that's why I wanted to make sure we're all on the same page there. You can watch YouTube videos without ever signing in, but then it won't let me, comment or like or anything without actually signing in to the account. But she just showed you how you sign in. And once you're signed in, she showed you how you can look for things, right? And you even saw how I looked for things. You just go to the search bar at the top. Like we saw, YouTube is the second second most used search engine, right? So you search for things and then it comes up here. And that's how you'll find items you're looking for. If you want to click the Explore button, it'll give you themes for things to look for. You can subscribe to channels, and that's where all of those information will live here. And you can look at your history of things you searched for in the past. All right, so that's kind of how that works. And I'm glad we were able to figure out that YouTube. So my next slide was just going over how it looks. And you just saw, I just showed you how it looked. So like Lee said in the chat, it was a great workaround, but then I got to show you what I was going to show you next anyway, which was how you actually utilize YouTube, which you can do whether you're signed in or not. But you do need to sign in to have a YouTube channel. So what you've all probably been waiting for, how do I make this YouTube channel that you're talking about, Sarah? And here's how you're going to do that. So you sign into YouTube, which I just showed all of you how to do. And then you will click the Create Channel button. So if you go over to, as you see in the screen, once you click the sign in button, it gives you a drop down. It'll have your name, and then it'll have manage your Google account, and then create a channel. If you don't have a channel yet, then it'll say create a channel. And you can actually have I think every time you want to make a new channel, you just need a different account, right? So you'll only see create a channel if you don't have one. And then you'll click Get Started. They make it really easy for you because it's owned by Google, which is a huge supporter of small business. They also make it super easy for you as a small business to utilize. So you'll click Get Started. And then it'll ask you to set up your profile. So here you will create a custom channel name. I would always encourage you make sure that your channel name is similar to your business name, if not exactly your business name, because you want to be consistent with that branding, right? You need to name it for your business or your brand, something that's easy for people to spell, to search, to remember. That's the biggest thing with any social media profile and with your business name in general. So if your business was Sarah's Cupcakes, you might want a Sarah's Cupcakes YouTube channel. If your business was American Bounce for bounce houses, you might want to have your business channel for YouTube say American Bounce. So it's really easy and simple for people to figure it out. Quick tip over here. Ooh, my channel thing is in the way. There we go. You can have multiple managers and owners. So once you've clicked your custom name and you figured out what you want, you might not want to be the only person that manages your YouTube. You might have other employees, maybe your coworker or your brother, sister, spouse, whoever it is that's working on the business with you. You can both manage the same channel. So they do allow you to do that because running a YouTube can be a little burdensome for some people. And then you will upload a picture, and they walk you through this step by step, but you upload the picture. I do always say, maybe make it your logo. or maybe a picture of you if you're a solopreneur, but make sure it's very visually engaging. It should be colorful and it should be obviously connected to the business channel. So I wouldn't want you to have a business channel about bounce houses, like I said, and then have the profile picture be cupcakes. That's not necessarily as useful to you. It'll confuse your audience. You will add a description. This is really important because people might find you on YouTube before they ever find your website or wherever you're selling your product. So you want your channel description to say what your business does. Make it really clear, really succinct. Maybe even put a call to action in there. So after they've read your description, what do you want them to do? Follow your channel, check you out on your website. It's always good to put something in there to kind of give someone a next step once they found out that your channel exists. And then link to your website and other social media. So it'll walk you through this step. Once you do this, it'll click next. It'll give you a description. You can either skip, you don't have to put a description, but I do recommend it, or you can come back and do it later, but you have the ability to skip or go next. And then same thing, add your sites. If you have a website, please do put that URL link in here because this is another way for people to find you and kind of have like a backlink to your website, right? A way to bring people to your website from somewhere else where they're searching. And if you had any other social media, you can add those as well. And let me just see, we did have one question here. Can people see your channel if you have only a small number of followers? Chris, your channel might be private if you can't find your own channel on a different device. And we are going to go over how you make your channel private in a couple slides. But if you want people to view it, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. You could have 0 followers, it doesn't matter. But you need to make sure that your channel is public. So if you're logging in on a different device, which I always recommend, I always do that myself, right? I'll log into a guest browser and see what it looks like from a guest perspective. That might be one of the things you're running into there, but hopefully we can work through that throughout this presentation. And if not, we can talk a little more offline. All right, so, but this is the next steps, right? You link, it walks you through all of that, and then it'll just bring you to your page. This is kind of what it looks like right here. And it automatically brings you into something called YouTube Studio. Now, I don't know why YouTube gave it a different name because I think it kind of confuses people and you think, oh, I'm in YouTube Studio now. Oh, my toolbar is blocking the screen. My toolbar. Is it still blocking the screen? Let me know. Okay, great. I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I didn't know you guys could all see this if that's what you're looking at. I'm sorry. But yes, so when you're in YouTube Studio, it's not like you moved from YouTube. It's not like it's a different platform that you're launched off to. It's literally just where you edit your YouTube. So YouTube Studio is within YouTube. It's all about setting up your YouTube channel and what's on your YouTube channel. So don't see the word YouTube Studio and get worried that we're talking about a secondary platform here that you have to worry about. But when you're in here, it allows you to customize your entire channel. So you did the basics already. It walked you through those steps that we just went through on the previous slide. And then when you're here, it'll show you your channel. It'll have your profile picture that maybe you just uploaded, your name, and then have all of these things on the side that you don't have anything for yet because you don't have any videos yet. But it has a button down here that says customization. And that's where you can add extra things to your channel. If you really want to plus it up and bring more awareness to it, you want to look very professional, then I would definitely go into this customization link and add things like spotlight videos, a profile banner, images, and really optimize your description. You can change your channel URL, so it's not just a random string of numbers and letters, but if your name of your business was Sarah's Cupcakes and you want the channel URL to be youtube.com/Sarah's Cupcakes, pending that no one else has that URL already, you can update it and make it custom to you, which is a really great way to lift your presence there and show your customers that you have a serious YouTube channel. But you would do all of that right here in customization. And this is kind of what it would look like. So I love this example, Divas Can Cook. She really put this together very well. The profile picture is just of her. Maybe she's a solopreneur, but she has the name of her business, really clear, really easy to spell. And her banner image, which you would have to make your banner image in a separate platform. You might make it in Canva or Adobe or, just upload a photo. But if you wanted it to look like this, I do recommend what she did here, which is, the separated pictures. where she has options of all the different food that she cooks, right? So this is a great way to look at it. And even if I had never seen her channel before, I can immediately see, okay, this isn't just cake. She also has chicken here, some drinks, and see that this is a cooking channel, not just a baking channel or something. So you can set something up like that to have multiple pictures, or you can just have a banner image like you saw. The temple banner image was just our name and contact information. So it really depends on what you want the first look to be. For us at Temple, we're a service-based, no cost service. So my biggest takeaway when we made our banner image was, I want you to know how to contact us quick and easy. For Divas Can Cook, the idea was, I want you to see the diversity of what I'm selling or what I'm offering. And she gives you an idea of what to expect. This is very cool. You don't need to do this. You don't even need to have YouTube channel videos every week unless that's something you're interested in. But if you subscribe to her channel, you could expect a new video every Thursday. She makes it really simple for you to figure out why you maybe want to follow her, right? That's her call to action. Same thing here, subscribe here, right? In her description, she'd put the call to action. Made it really obvious. She has a trailer video. This would just be like a less than minute long video about what your business is. If you had one, or maybe you want to make one, you are not required to have a channel trailer here, but it's kind of like when you watch a movie trailer, right? You want to be able to know what's going on this YouTube channel without scrolling through each video to kind of figure it out. You can learn a little bit more about who she is and what she does based off of this one miniature video. So like I said, not required, but these are ways you can really lift your site, and it's all free, and you just customize it within YouTube under the customization within your channel. Once again, you want to make sure that it's well organized. So this was pretty much the same screenshot, except I am also showing you the drop down with her videos here. So the easiest thing to do is have the channel, but if you want people to stay on it, you have to remember that the attention span is very small. So you want it to be really easy for them to find the information and make it helpful. And then group your videos by sections. So for some of you that are brand new to this, you might say, oh, I'm only going to have like a video every month, and they're all going to be about pretty much the same thing. So I don't necessarily need to make them all separate. That's okay. But if you were someone who is more motivated, like Divas Can Cook, and she might have a whole bunch of recipes that are Southern recipes, and then maybe she has a bunch that are Tex-Mex, you could separate those into two different, they're called playlists, where you separate out your video. So if someone was specifically looking for the Southern recipes or specifically looking for the Tex-Mex recipes, it'd be easier for them to find them. And it just organizes your channel better, makes it look a little bit more clean. And you can do that when you upload the video by deciding which playlist you want it to go into. And we'll talk about how you upload the video next. But I want you to know what it should look like. There's so much you can do before you even add a video to make it clean. And then you want to upload videos. So we're going to go over YouTube for your business. The reason I kind of make the separation here is you can have a channel for your personal life as well. And I just want to put that all out there. Whether you have a YouTube personal channel, a YouTube gaming channel, a YouTube for your business channel, the process is exactly the same. So you can make a channel no matter what. That wasn't necessarily business specific. Divas Can Cook, maybe she doesn't even sell her food. Maybe she's just making those recipes and sharing them with people. Maybe she's just a YouTuber, but you can do that for your business. But now that you know how to get a channel, you want to use YouTube for your business. And the best way to do that is post items on there. And there are 3 different ways you can post to YouTube, which is a fun fact. A lot of people think of YouTube and they think of the YouTube channel videos, but there are a couple other ways as well. The YouTube channel video is when you just upload a video and you put it on YouTube, and it's on your channel. You pick which playlist it goes to, and it's just there. And people can view it. YouTube Live is pretty similar to, if anyone's heard of Instagram Live or Facebook Live or any of those. YouTube Live allows you to maybe market and say, hey, everybody, I'm going live at 6 o'clock. I'm going to talk about XYZ. If I was Sarah's Cupcakes, maybe I'd say I'm about to do a live demo of me making my signature chocolate mocha cupcakes or something like that. You could do a YouTube Live video where people are online with you, viewing you in real time. And then when the live is over, it converts just to a normal YouTube video that ends up on your channel. So you have that capability. I know that might be a little advanced for some people, but I want you to know it's something that exists. And then YouTube is actually doing a beta right now of something called YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are kind of minute or less long videos, so they can't be longer than a minute. And actually, I think they're almost doing this to get into competition with the Instagram Reels and TikTok and all of that. But the whole point of YouTube Shorts actually is that it's going to make it easier for you as a small business to post little baby videos, minute or less long videos, without needing to do any crazy editing or anything like that. YouTube Shorts are only for mobile phones. So that would be like me pulling out my phone and saying, hey, everyone, I'm about to make cupcakes. Look at me do it now. Join me on my YouTube live later tonight or something, like little mini snippets. Here are a couple links that you'll get in the PowerPoint that if you want to find out more information about YouTube Shorts, you can. But right now it's only mobile. It's only available in certain countries. They're not allowing everyone to do it because it's in a beta phase, but it's going to be coming live shortly. So for those of you that didn't know that was something that was coming down the pipeline, now you do. But most people use channel videos, and the savvy people might go for YouTube Live. So how do you upload that video, right? This is the easiest way. And for those of you that have seen any of our other social media series, you'll probably have seen that like on Instagram, there was like 3 or 4 different ways to post. YouTube keeps it really simple, right? One of my 5 benefits that I said of being on YouTube is it's easy to be on YouTube. You basically upload your videos and then share your videos with people. So how to upload a video? When you're in your YouTube channel, and you do have to have a channel, like I said, to make one, you have a giant button at the top that says create, and it kind of looks like a video camera. So they make it really obvious. It has a little plus sign in it to show you that you're adding something to your channel. You would click it, and then it says, do you want to upload a video? And you would say yes, and you would select that file from your computer. So someone asked in the chat earlier, I recorded programs and they're on my USB, but I want to put them on YouTube. How do I do that? This is how you would do that. Get them off of your USB, and then put them on your computer, or pull the file right from the USB as it's plugged into your computer and upload it right here. It's a pretty simple process. Depending on how long the video is, sometimes it takes a couple minutes. Maybe if it's a very long video, like an hour or so, it might take an hour or 2 for it actually to upload to YouTube. But you just select the file from your computer, or if you're on your mobile device, you upload it from your mobile device, and it'll go through that process with you to just stick it on there. Yep. So yeah, someone just said their 30-minute, what he was trying to get off the USB was about 30 minutes in length. So yeah, it'll only take a couple minutes or so. What I will say is, because so many people are on YouTube, right? There's billions of people on YouTube. If a ton of people are trying to upload at the same time, it can also affect the time it takes. But it never takes more than a couple hours, at least in my experience. And if it's really short or like under an hour, you're probably only going to be waiting there for 10, 15 minutes max. So it's very simple to do it. And as long as you're patient, give it a couple minutes, you will then have a video that you can put on YouTube. It asks you to go through all of these. So once the video says it's been uploaded, it's not public yet. You have to go through these next couple steps. This might look really overwhelming. I promise it's not. And if you end up posting videos a lot, you'll become very familiar with this process. But a lot of it is self-explanatory, which I love about YouTube. They really try to make it easy for you. But you're going to want a title, and you want that title to be really easy for people to find. So for example, the YouTube video I tried pulling up was how to sign up for YouTube. I YouTubed how to sign up for YouTube, and the title of the video was how to sign up for YouTube. So it came up, I don't know if you all saw, but it was the second item after the ads, of course. It was the second item that came up, because what I searched for was exactly the title. So you want to make sure that your titles of your videos are optimized to really go after whatever people might be searching for. How to make a 3-tier wedding cake. Maybe Sonia's Bakery, I think that says Sonia, or Stasia's Bakery, wants to give a tutorial, and then you'll know that Stasia's Bakery exists. If people are looking up how to make a 3-tier wedding cake, this will pop up. If people type in how to make a wedding cake, it still has most of the keywords and it will pop up. So the more specific you make it, the better, but you also don't want it to be a run-on sentence title. You can also utilize the description to add additional information. So when you're searching for items, YouTube will secondarily pull from the description. The title is obviously first, but if you have some keywords in your description as well, not only does it give people an understanding of what you're putting out there, but it'll help them find the video that they want. Thumbnail. What's a thumbnail? When you're on YouTube, or as you probably saw in that little video, it gives you all these options for videos, but it's giving you a picture of a snapshot at one point in that video to kind of show you what you might be watching, right? You can pick what point in the video you want to be the snapshot. So if you want it to be right at the beginning, or maybe you don't because it's like awkwardly captured you talking with your mouth halfway open, or it doesn't have enough color or it's not engaging enough, you can change where in the video you want the thumbnail to be. And that is really good to know, because when you have your video on YouTube, if you want people to find it, you want that thumbnail to be engaging, right? If it's dark or cloudy or not interesting looking, and there's a video right next to it that does have an interesting thumbnail with the exact same title, humans are just interested in aesthetic and they're going to click the one that looks better. So you want to make sure you're picking a thumbnail here, but that's also relatively simple to do. You can also upload your own thumbnail. If you're like, I didn't like any point in my video, or I just want the thumbnail for the video to be like my logo or a different picture, you can just upload a thumbnail as well. It doesn't even have to be from the video necessarily. You can decide which playlist you want it on, like I said. So if you knew that you had a couple different playlists and you wanted it specifically on one of them, you would select it here. And by the way, you would make your playlist in that customization on the YouTube Studio that I mentioned before. So it's really easy to add playlists. And then when you upload a video, you can put it on a playlist or just leave it hanging on your channel in no playlist. Your target audience, because YouTube is readily accessible to all ages, you just have to say if it's made for kids or not made for kids. That doesn't mean that that's like an age restriction. So for example, this is a wedding cake tutorial. She said, no, it's not made for kids. Not because it's going to get blocked from kids, but because it's not a kid's video, like an episode of Wonder Pets would be, if any of you know what that is. You know, like that would be something that's for kids. Or how to make Play-Doh. That would be maybe for kids. This is not made for kids. It's for someone who's an adult making a wedding cake. But then underneath it, it does say age restriction. So then it does ask you after this point, you know, should we put an age restriction on this? And the answer would still be no for this. I mean, this isn't harmful. But, you know, if you were posting a video with profanity or, you know, an explicit song or something like that, I'm sure that doesn't come up for most of you, but that's where you might have an age restriction. But they walk you through that. You do also get to get really fancy if you want. Over here on the right, I have the last two things. Is once you finish your details, it says, do you want to add video elements? You may or may not want to add video elements. You can add an end screen, which is either a graphic, or, you know, you can create these graphics in Canva or elsewhere, or whatever you'd want your end screen to be, where once the video ends, it pulls up an image, maybe with your contact information or a picture of your logo or something like that, just to give your videos more consistency. And what's really convenient is if you have this image that you already made, when you get to this point, you click add an end screen and you just upload it in, and it pushes it to the end of your video. So you don't even have to worry about video editing necessarily in a last screen that says, thanks, contact us at, or your logo or whatever you want it to be. You can also add things called cards. This is a little more advanced. Probably none of you will start off with this if you've never uploaded a video before, but you can add promo content during your video. So if you wanted it to pause and bring up a card that like says shop here now, or buy my product, or check out this product, or whatever it is. Once again, you have to make those cards, those little graphics yourself, and then you can choose if you want to add them in or not. I would consider that to be more of like an intermediate YouTube skill. So we're not going to spend too much time on it here. And then lastly, you just check the visibility. So do you want everyone to see this? This kind of goes to someone asked in the Q&A, you know, well, they said they couldn't find their channel. So under your customization for your channel, you can see how public or private your channel is. But if you can't find your videos, it might be because they're unlisted or you made them private. So public means anyone can search it. Like I just went on YouTube and I searched for how to sign up for YouTube. That was a public video. So I could see it even though I didn't have the exact link. An unlisted video means you can only see it if I gave you this link. So I would copy and paste this, email it to you, and then you can see the video. But you can't just search it on YouTube. So some people might want to do that if they just want specific people to see a video, or you don't want to share it completely publicly. And then private would mean only you and people you choose can see the video. What that means is it's even a more level of security than unlisted. When it's private, the only people that can see it are you, and then you can type people's email addresses in, and then they're able to see it. That's it. So even if you gave them the unlisted link, it would not work if it was private. So those are the three ways you can put things on. Most people just want to go public because they're trying to market, right? Or you can schedule, and you can decide if you want to schedule in advance or not. So you might want to put it out right now, right then and there, or you can schedule it. Decide I want it to go out Wednesday, or I want it to go out Thursday. If you were Divas Can Cook and she puts it out on Thursday, she might make the video on a Sunday and then schedule it to go out on Thursday because that's what her schedule looks like. So that's how you make a video, and then it pops up on your YouTube channel. Nothing too crazy going on there. I don't want to spend too much time on YouTube live streaming because it is a little intermediate, but in case any of you were, motivated, you will all get a copy of this PowerPoint, and each of these links is a hyperlink to kind of give you more information on if this is something you want to do. But the YouTube live streaming isn't for everyone. They actually make you verify your account before you can even enable the ability to live stream. It's not a hard process, but they do make you go through a verification with a phone number and do the 6-digit code, and all of that. But once you've verified your account, you will see the enable live streaming option on your channel page, which will not show up there for any of you that did not go through that process. There are a couple of restrictions, like you can only do it through a web browser at this time. If you want to use it on a mobile device, you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers. I think they do that to stop 1 trillion people from live streaming at the same time. But here are how-to links. So if you want to live stream from your web browser, this shows you exactly how to do it. Mobile device, how to do it. And then software and hardware encoders are for those people who maybe want to do like a screen share, essentially, where maybe they're gaming, right? They're doing video game tutorials, and some people just have YouTube videos where they're, like gaming and they have the commentary, stuff like that, which I'm sure none of you are interested in at this time. But here's the info if you want it for your business or otherwise. But for the most part, if you're thinking I want to live stream for my business, you're going to need to be on a web browser, which is not crazy to do. Once you do it, here's the how-to. So you'll need a webcam or an external webcam if you don't have one on your laptop or desktop. You'll log in, you'll click create a post, and then now live streaming is an option for you because you enabled it. You'll click go live, and you can have it be now or schedule it for later. This might be, for example, like I said earlier, if I wanted to say, hey everyone, check out my YouTube channel, I'm going live to do a cupcake tutorial at 6 o'clock, and then you can send people the link. Until 6 o'clock, you're not live, so the link doesn't go anywhere. But at 6 o'clock, it turns on. You're live streaming. People see you in real time doing this. It's just another way to engage with people. Certainly not required. And then when you're done streaming, you would click stop, and it would automatically download it to your computer, and then you can have it on your YouTube as just like another video on your channel. Some people like YouTube Live. I know this sounds overwhelming for a lot of people because you're like, Sarah, I'm never going to use this. But some people like YouTube Live because people don't expect as much editing from a YouTube Live video. Because it's live, you're going to see me with my background or whatever's behind me, but you're not necessarily going to have a lot of editing, with transitions and slides in the middle and pop-ups and stuff. And people don't expect it because it's a live video. It's a little bit more natural and organic. So for those of you that aren't very video editing savvy, which might be a majority of you, I'm not sure, you might like the live capability of just being able to say, hey, I was on and now it's on my channel. So that's why I put it in here. And if you want more information, like I said, this is a step-by-step instruction on how to do that. Last but not least, check your analytics. It is so important to know how you're doing on YouTube. You want to make sure you're putting stuff out there that people are engaging with. The worst thing you do not want is people to not view your video after you put so much effort into it, right? So what's really great is when you're on your channel, you can see your dashboard, you can see your videos, your playlist, etc. You can see your analytics and see how many people are viewing your channel, how many people are viewing specific videos, how many people are engaging with them, what your audience might look like. So I'm just putting this here as a little, as you move forward, putting videos out, check out your analytics and see how you're doing. So yes, and for live streaming, you can also edit later. Thank you, Nikki. So you don't have to edit later, but you have that capability. So once it's downloaded, if you want to edit it, you definitely can, but it's not required. So thank you for that. I don't want people to think that it's like, ooh, I messed up and I can't fix it when you live stream. No, you definitely can. Last but certainly not least, as I close out, please do feel free to keep putting questions in the Q&A. I think I've gotten to most of them here. But if you had other questions, please do, because now we're going to go into the planning portion, right? So you know how to put a video on YouTube, but you want to make sure you're doing it so in a way that makes sense for your business. So you'll probably see this slide, I put it in a lot of my webinars. You want to set goals and objectives. And I'm not saying this to be a broken record, but I'm saying it because you don't want to, especially with YouTube, right? Because videos are so, especially if you're editing them, can take a long time to put together. You don't want to go about it willy-nilly. You want to have an idea of what you're trying to gain from being on YouTube. Do you want to have one video a week? That might be a lot. Maybe you want to do one video a month just to maintain a presence on there. That might be a good start for a lot of people. Research what your competition's doing. Find inspiration from other YouTube business channels and create a little calendar for yourself. Like I said, maybe you just want to put one out once a month or once every 2 months or whatever it is. But start to get a feel for what you want to gain from this. If you're trying to gain YouTube followers specifically, you might want to post more often. But if you're just starting to use the search engine optimization and keep yourself fresh and present on this website, then you don't need to have as many posts, so you get to make that plan for yourself. Like I said, YouTube has a ton of resources for you. So even though this was a YouTube basics and I went through how to get on YouTube, how to make a channel, how to make a video, you have all these other resources. These are all links that you will get in the PowerPoint if you had follow-up questions as you're working through your YouTube journey. So if you needed general support, or remember I said that custom URL, that's a very cool thing to lift your business. How to make a custom URL. Here's a step-by-step instruction if you can't figure it out yourself on the customization page. I'm going to talk about Creator Academy in a second. They have a whole how to set up a YouTube channel if, what I said didn't make sense, or maybe you want more detail or whatever it is. How to move your channel to another account. Some people ask that question. And how to edit a video, right? So how to edit a video, how to trim your video. These are all things that you might be asking. You're like, that's great, Sarah. I can put this video on YouTube, but I don't have any nice videos. Well, you can start by using very simple editing and trimming tools in YouTube itself, especially if you don't have anywhere else to go. I won't say they have a plethora of things for you to edit, but they have some basics that'll help most of you that have never done video editing before. And then also if you had questions about YouTube ads or anything else, these are all really great resources that you can continue to access. One thing I want to put out there is please do focus on quality over quantity. This is true for any social media, but especially with YouTube. Like I said before, do what you can, do what makes sense for you, but make sure it's good content. You don't want to post YouTube videos just to post YouTube videos. You want to make sure it makes sense for your business. So if you're, that cupcake business, like I said, maybe I'm doing a couple little mini promotional items like, hey, check out these cupcakes I made. You can get them there 20% off this week or whatever. Or use this promo code because you watched my video. People do that kind of thing all the time. Or maybe I want to post a recipe and say, this is how you make, my chocolate cupcakes, like I said earlier. Maybe you want to do a little tour of your kitchen and say, this is what I'm doing with my, these are ways to just bring that human element. You want to be really human and really honest, and putting videos on YouTube so people know who you are, what you do, why it's important, and why they might want to buy from you is really, really key. Using videos can seem overwhelming, but it's a great way to just showcase you as a person, as a business, and how awesome you are. So please be human and honest when you're putting things out here. So some specific details, because I'm sure some of you are interested in what maybe a YouTube strategy would look like compared to just a general strategy. You want to make sure your message is clear and concise. I kind of alluded to this a couple times, right? People lose their attention within like 5 to 15 seconds. So you need to make that strong impression within those first 5 to 15 seconds. So you want to come in really quickly with it. This is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. And you'll notice that's even how I kind of set up my PowerPoints, right? This is who we are. This is the agenda. This is what you'll expect from the training. I lay it all out there, and that's how your YouTube should be as well. You're joining my video today to learn more about how to make chocolate cupcakes. Great. I know exactly what I'm doing. Perfect. I will either stay or I will decide not to stay. But you want to make that really clear up front. You want to develop a compelling call to action, like I said, or maybe a timely offer. You might want an act now. So my example earlier, if you watched this video and you liked it, use promo code XYZ, act now to get a discount on this product or something. You want to give them a reason to follow up with you, or say that this promo is only good for a week, or maybe it's only good for this month, because then it gives them a sense of urgency. And even if your call to action isn't a discount or something, maybe your call to action is just follow us on social media, subscribe to my channel for more videos, call me, or go to my website, schedule a consultation if you're a service business, but you want that call to action. Even if it's just a video of you saying, hey, this is what my business is like, this is what I'm doing today. What am I supposed to do next? You want to make that really clear to the client or, to the consumer, and make sure you're steering that conversation. So, like I said, setting the clear expectations there on where the conversation is going, be engaging, be, I don't know, smiley, excited, whatever it is. That goes back to that human element, right? People they gravitate towards passion. If you sound like you're excited and passionate about something, people are going to gravitate towards that. So that human element is really clean and clear, and it needs to be present in YouTube. So those are the specifics here for YouTube. And remember to share. So this is huge. I think YouTube, it may be a search engine, but you still want to share those videos. Once it's on your YouTube channel, share it on your website. If you're savvy enough, you can even embed YouTube videos into your website or put it on a blog. Go to your social media, put it in an email and send it to your friends, your clients, whatever it is. YouTube is a search engine, but part of what's going to make it really good for you is those videos live there and you can share them with other people with those links. Unlike a Facebook post or wherever, where it doesn't normally make sense to send someone a link to a Facebook post you made, you can send that link of a video anywhere. And this snippet over here on the left is showing once you have a video that you've published, remember we were doing Stasia's Bakery? Once the video is published, it says video published, and then it'll say, do you want to share the link? So right then and there, right off the bat, it gives you the link. You can click, yes, I want to share it to Facebook. And if you connect your Facebook, it'll automatically let you make a status on Facebook with the link embedded in it. Same thing with Twitter and a couple other options, or you can embed it into a website. So there's really a lot going on here. So they make it so easy, right? You can decide right after the video is published if you want to go ahead and share it. But don't forget that these, especially if it's a more of a static video where it doesn't have a promotional offer at the end and it's something that can be shared for 2-3 years to come, make sure you build that into your social media plan. Maybe you mention it once the week it comes out, and then maybe 6 months down the road, you go, hey guys, remember when I made this video about, making chocolate cupcakes? Check it out again here, or whatever. I mean, you can continue to use the YouTube videos. It's not like a one and done situation where you can only post about it once. So please do utilize that in your strategy. It's all about sharing. Share that link. And then how do you engage with people to make them follow you on YouTube? You want them to follow you and see your videos, right? So you want to make sure your account is optimized. Like I said earlier, make sure you have a proper username and image that makes sense. It needs to be really clear to them. Make sure make sure your content is high quality. Try to be consistent with when you're posting. So that's why I said be realistic earlier. If you think you can only get one video out a month, then try to stick to the one video a month. But if you do like 3 in 1 month and then none for 2 months, people who might have followed you might say, wait a second, they're not posting anything for a long time, So just try to, I know it's not always, a perfect world, but try to be as consistent as possible, because if you want people to follow you, then they need to be following you because they expect something from you, right? They expect to see some videos at some type of consistency. Have other people share your profile. So say, hey, follow me, put that in your videos, put that on your social media, say, follow me to find out more great videos about how to do XYZ, or to get promotional offers at the end of my videos, or whatever it is. And you want people to create conversations. So it all comes full circle, right? I said earlier, part of the reason people go on YouTube, not everyone that goes on YouTube makes a channel. Most people just make an account because they just want to follow other people's YouTube videos, and then they'll like them, dislike them, add comments. You want to create those conversations because your consumers will find each other and relay information about your videos and about your business. And you want to make sure that you engage them. So maybe when you have a video, they'll say, this was how I make my cupcakes. Tell me about your favorite, cupcake flavor in the comments below for the next video, or something like that. I know I keep doing the cupcake example. Feel free to tell me a different industry or something, and I'll try to give you an example. But you can do this for any industry, and really try to engage people, get them to comment. Because also when people comment and review your videos, it's going to increase the SEO. It's going to show up more because more people have viewed it, more people have commented on it, and it'll rank higher on YouTube. So these are just a couple of the ways to continue to engage with people so they follow you. Last but certainly not least, like I promised, I want to give you next steps for YouTube. YouTube is one of those social media where the next steps don't necessarily mean knowing more about YouTube itself, because YouTube is very simple to use. Unlike an intermediate Instagram or an intermediate Facebook, where you might be learning more about hashtags or how to increase engagement or something like that, YouTube, we pretty much figured out today in this hour. So what can you do next as far as the intermediate level? Make your content stronger. And the way to do that is get better at video editing. I know that sounds really overwhelming, but here are just some quick tips, right? Focus on your space, your lighting, and sound. And here are just some tips that you will get in this PowerPoint if you want to consider how to make your videos stronger so they're more popular on YouTube. Take a look at this PowerPoint slide again with some insight onto how to make good videos. You can also decide if you want to get really fancy and do ads. You can pay for YouTube ads or learn things in Creator Academy. So Creator Academy is within YouTube. It's a completely free online course workshop where you can learn how-tos on how to do video editing and everything. They have a ton of courses. They're all completely free. So you can learn how to make basically any kind of video editing you want in here. So please, and I did put a link to Creator Academy a couple slides ago. Here's also a link here. Feel free to use that if you're thinking about next steps to make your videos better. Or maybe take a look at ads and see how much those might cost if you want to do that. So those are really the only next steps with YouTube, is better video quality and maybe paying for ads, but you don't necessarily need to. You can just grow out your own channel. And that was it for me. These last couple of slides are just me reminding you all that, like I said earlier, we are a digital transformation center of excellence. So if you're looking for additional assistance, you can always sign up with a consultant and we can help you out. We have a ton of upcoming trainings that might be useful for you in the marketing space. If you're looking for Etsy, or maybe learning how to get on Alibaba, how to use Google My Business, these are all things that are coming up within the next week. And that was it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing because I saw a couple things coming in the chat. We have about, 15-ish minutes here for Q&A. So I just want to say thank you to all of you here. And I'm going to go ahead and post a quick link in the chat with a link to our survey. So those of you that have been with us on these webinars before, you know that because we're funded by the federal government, we do have to get surveys to let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, maybe what you'd like to see in the future. This helps us provide these programs to you at no cost. So you letting us know what you like and letting us know that you appreciate these. If you appreciate them, if you don't, let me know too, because then I can work on making them better. Let us know. This is really key for us. So it's only 4 questions. Please do take the time to fill it out, maybe even right now while I'm talking. And I'm going to get to the last couple questions here, and then I will close it out. But if you aren't one of the people waiting for a question, feel free to hop off and enjoy the rest of your lovely Thursday. But I saw a couple questions here that I'm going to get to right now. Someone asked, will Temple be offering video editing classes? We actually did 2 video marketing and editing classes in April, I believe, and my goal is to run them again, but probably not until the fall, just because since we are grant funded, we have a cyclical motion to when we post things, so or when we offer new programming. So I want to say yes, but not over the summer. So just hold on, Apple Leaf, for that one. Or you can meet with a consultant one-on-one and we can help you individually. Someone said, if someone made a very good informative video, can I share that video through my channel on his name? So if someone else made the video you would need to download the video. They would need to send you that video. There's no way to like transfer a video from one YouTube channel to another, like through just the link. They would need to give you that YouTube video, and you can upload it yourself with rights saying this is originally from XYZ person. I'm sharing on his behalf, blah, 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 blah. You want to put that disclaimer. And the only other thing I will say is this doesn't happen often, but if you end up doing that a lot, YouTube SEO will kind of get in the way a little bit. They'll say, wait a second, this is the exact same video being posted by multiple people. So if you do it too many times, they might start flagging it. But for the most part, that's how you might do that, especially if you have someone who you're trying to share their video and you want it to be posted for you as well. Another thing you can do is on your channel, you can make playlists and you can make like lists of recommended videos for people as well. And you can link off to videos from someone else's channel. So it won't show up as your video. Maybe that's what you're asking. It won't show up as your video. It won't say that you uploaded it, but you can have it as like recommended videos for people to watch. And if you want, I can show you how to do something like that. That's a little bit more intermediate, but I know a lot of partner organizations do things like that when they're like, hey, well, if you want to learn more about XYZ, our partner, blah, blah, over here has some great videos, and then it might have a list of their videos listed. So there are a couple different options there that I just gave you, some of them more advanced than others. And if you want, we can definitely chat more offline about that. So let me see here. Oh, okay, great. That one you put in the Q&A in the chat. Love it. Someone said I attended the Marketing on a Shoestring webinar. You spoke of Hootsuite as a social media management platform. Can you use Hootsuite to post on YouTube? No, that is a really great question. The problem is YouTube is really heavily video based. So with Hootsuite, you can't upload a video to Hootsuite. Hootsuite would let you send a YouTube link. So if you had a YouTube link and you wanted to share it with other people, right? Once you made the video on YouTube and you said, I want to share it with my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can post the link through Hootsuite to those platforms. But because, and this is what I said earlier at the beginning, right? YouTube doesn't have like a newsfeed capability. It's not a social media platform where there's a newsfeed of updates from people you follow and things like that. So there's no way to post something to YouTube from Hootsuite. Yeah, so do keep that in mind, but if you have a YouTube link, you can definitely share it through Hootsuite to other platforms. You can't upload something to Hootsuite. All righty. Someone asked, how does YouTube pay you? YouTube, that's a great question. YouTube will pay you based on number of views and things like that. And to be honest, I am not entirely sure of the exact process for that, but I can definitely look it up and we can talk a little bit more offline about it. But most of you probably won't get to that point unless you're planning on going really big on YouTube. But normally what happens is they pay per percentage of views. So if you got like multiple thousands upon millions of views, at some point or another, because they're getting that engagement and they have ads and things that they will start playing within your videos and things like that, people make money off of YouTube, as you all know. Some people can make a ton of money off of YouTube. Fun fact, the person who gets paid the most from YouTube is a toy reviewer. So they get paid to review toys, and you can do things like that with your own business and say, I'm not necessarily reviewing my own product, but here's my product and this is why you should care about it. And these are the features and things like that. But yeah, that's a good question. And I wish I had more insight on that. But for most of you, if you're just starting out, they don't pay you at 100 views, 200 views, even 1,000 views. You have to get really higher up there for them to start offering that to you. And I would probably put that more into like an intermediate session if we ever ran one of those. But it is a great question. I wish I had more for you on that. All right. And then someone said, hoping to learn more about engaging content and driving traffic to a website. Yeah, so using YouTube is a great way to draw traffic to your website. You can embed YouTube links right into your website if you want. But also it's the second largest search engine. So even if you just have that channel with a couple of videos with a clean call to action with your website link, people can search for you and then it'll draw traffic to your website, which you never had that capability to before because you weren't on YouTube. Similar to Google. Having a Google My Business, which we just did a webinar on yesterday, pretty important because people are searching on Google and you want them to be able to find you. And even if they don't know you, they might not know that you as a business exist. They're going to want to be looking for something, and then maybe your information will come up. So for example, when we did the Google My Business presentation yesterday, the example was a small business called Philly Phone Repair. And if you Google phone repair Philadelphia or phone repair Philly, or you're looking for someone to do phone repair nearby, because their Google My Business was optimized, even though people didn't know Phone Repair Philly was the name of the business or that it exists, it came up immediately because of the way they optimized their Google My Business account. And you can do the exact same thing with YouTube. Like I said, making sure your titles are clean and obvious what people are searching for, you want your YouTube title to be. Making sure you have some of those keywords in the description, making sure your channel has that clear call to action. Those are the biggest things with YouTube because it's in essence a video search engine. So people might go on there looking for how to make cupcakes, like I said, and then find your channel about how you made chocolate cupcakes and be like, wait a second, I actually think Stagia's Bakery is super cool. Do they live near me? Well, can I go buy my cupcakes from them? Or if you were something a little less consumer, good, like something that is more durable than a food product, oh my gosh, wait, this clothing company, I love the way they paired those outfits together. I want to buy those outfits. Oh, wait, there's a link right there to where I can buy the outfits. That's the kind of stuff you want people to connect, and they will convert. They will convert more than they would on any other social media. All right, let me see here. Someone said I post pictures of my African attire on LinkedIn. People are more interested in the outfit. Yeah, exactly. So yes, you can definitely make YouTube videos of you wearing the outfits, or just saying, look at this outfit, isn't this so cool? Or tell people how it was made, or if it has something cultural behind it, you know, or if you're like, I got this from XYZ, or it means this to me, or if you're the person who made it, this is the process of how I made it. People love that human element. I've said this in a couple of my other webinars, and some of you might have been on them, so this might be a repeat, but marketing has really gone through an iteration in the last 20 years. You know, if we were back in 2000, print marketing and door-to-door marketing was still widely popular, you know, going to people, getting in their face with paper ads and things like that. You don't see anyone doing that anymore, or not very often, especially like the door-to-door salesman. That has really kind of fallen off because we got into this digital world. And by the 2010s and 2015, you know, ish area, everyone was marketing on Facebook or on Google, or trying to get their ad to show up in front of you as you're scrolling through your normal day-to-day on social media. But even that, people have become so disengaged with. They don't want it as much. They don't want to see an ad. So we've actually moved into the third iteration of marketing right now, where people care more about that human element, being that organic. You know, I heard about you from I heard about this person told me about you, and this other person told me about you. That's the kind of stuff people want right now. And they want to go to your YouTube, your website, your Facebook, and see that you're not just a business, but you're a person, or you're a family, or you're, you know, you and your team exist, and you have kids, and you have a life, and you are passionate about what you do. I mean, people are gravitating to that because it's so different from the corporate minutia that they're getting from like the Walmarts and Targets of the world, right? So yes, do that. Someone said, can you sell through YouTube? You can't sell like on YouTube. It doesn't have an e-commerce platform. But what you've probably seen in a couple YouTube videos is you can have, especially if you're good at video editing, you can have like a little button pop up with a link to click here to buy now, and have it shortcut off to your website, to your Etsy page, wherever it is you are selling products. Alternatively, if you're not that good at video editing, you can also put it in the description of the video and say, if you like this video about XYZ African print shirt, dress, or whatever it is, buy it here, and have the link in the description of your video. So you can do one or the other, but YouTube itself is not a selling platform. Yep. All right, great. And I think that was it. So yes, there are great ways to be on YouTube. So we have about 6 minutes left. And like I said, if anyone has any other questions, now's your time. I appreciate you all being with me here today. We had quite a few people hop off within the last 5 minutes, but there's still 30 of you sitting with me. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. But if you have any questions, let me know.